So collections trust is in this, not as an end in itself. It's great to bring data together, lovely to make it available on websites, but we really want to transform the way the museum sector works. And for too long, the information that people spend hours and hours and years of their lives creating is just locked away and siloed. So we want to free that up. So better collaboration between museums. So we've got David Dawson from Wiltshire Museum here. They're early adopters. They are part of the Wessex Museum partnership of 5 museums who need to be able to access each other's databases when they're collaborating on things like a Thomas Hardy exhibition, for example. So they will be able to do that kind of behind the scenes with data that's not necessarily shared more widely, but between colleagues, they can do that. So this will really help anybody who needs to share museum data and at the moment is sort of bundling it up into a spreadsheet and sending it off. We're also really, really keen to help with kind of knowledge management and digital preservation of content that at the moment is treated as single use. I'm thinking here of things like exhibition text. Now, I've worked on exhibitions. You spend 6 months of your life writing text, goes off to the exhibition designer, gets slapped on the wall and put in a case, and then all of that audience-facing content then gathers digital dust, never to be seen again. And if you think of all the exhibitions that have been created in the last few decades, that is just a wealth of information, and we're really missing a trick because we just don't know what to do with it. So the Museum Data Service is experimenting with tools that will allow people to create new content collaboratively with people from outside the museum as well, and to, without doing anything different, to then just bundle up that content, tie it up in a nice metadata bow, and park it with the Museum Data Service. So that by itself, I think, will be transformational. And then finally, the Mendoza report called for dynamic collections. And it's really hard to work dynamically with collections if the information about those collections is trapped under a heavy desktop and just can't move. And that is the current situation. So I'm thinking here of things like collections rationalization, collecting, decisions about acquisitions and disposals are currently made blind by 1,800 museums who don't know how many museums have got Qualcast Panther lawnmowers with very little documentation. Is this the last one in captivity, or has everybody got one? We just don't know at the moment. So in 10 years' time, when we've got all the data from all the museums, we'll be able to kind of think more strategically about sort of macro collection management, and we'll be able to support the work of people like subject specialist networks who are kind of operating across museums with expertise, which is often lacking in individual museums, but they just don't have the technical heft to kind of preserve the results of their work. So the Museum Data Service for the museum sector will be a game changer.